for
Oh, hey, what's going on, y'all?
Elon.
We're back. We're back once again with another episode. And I guess, as always, I'm your man, K Marvel.
What's up, y'all? Y'all know it's your boy QS.
Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. It's your boy, Stretch.
And it is Striker Dragoon, and what a happy, fun, and exciting weekend we're gonna have.
And as always, we are the Four Corners of Commentary. Bad Al. Alrighty, so you know what? We're gonna do this like we did last week. Stretch, please, sir.
Take it
Thank you,
away.
gentlemen. I'd like to open up with a little bit of a paraphrase Shakespeare quote, if everybody doesn't mind. What's in a name? That which we call Walter by any other name would chop you just as hard, ladies and gentlemen. So Walter's been getting a lot of flack lately and a little bit of controversy in the WWE. I think rightfully so, because recently they trademarked the name Gunther Stark. Now, you hear the name Gunther Stark, you probably think of some guy wearing lederhosen or singing in the Swiss Alps or something like that. But no. Gunther Stark has a rather dark history to him because he is actually, ladies and gentlemen, a shoot Nazi. Yes,
Wow.
WWE went so far as to try to trademark the name for a shoot Nazi to give to Walter. Maybe not the whole name, but they are calling him Gunther, which he has explained on television as a tribute to his grandfather, whatever have you. Good kayfabe reason, I suppose, but to me, much ado about nothing. But not my call. I'm not a German. I have no idea how that history feels. So what I decided to do, ladies and gentlemen, is to do a little bit of a deep dive into German iconography in wrestling and the history of German iconography, especially when it relates to Imperium or Ringkampf, as they used to be known in WXW. So get on your thinking caps, ladies and gentlemen. It's time to go to school with Professor Stretch. Basically, most interesting thing that I happen to find is if you actually use the word Imperium in Germany, it actually translates, or rather it's a synonym to the word Reich. Reich being the German word for reign or empire, but most commonly associated with Nazi Germany. The point that I'm getting at is that Ringkampf, Imperium, whatever you want to call them, have always played with fascistic iconography. By fascistic, I do mean fascism or Nazism, if you will. Maybe not Nazism, but fascism, really. I'm not implying, I want to make that as a disclaimer, I'm not implying that anybody is using Nazi iconography in any way, shape, or form. I don't think the WWE is guilty of that. I don't think that Walter is guilty of that in any way, shape, or form. But there have always been a little bit of a fascistic vibe when it comes to Imperium and Ringkampf. The name alone, for example, Imperium, like I mentioned, translates into Reich. But for their entire existence, they really have played with that type of iconography. And if you look at the history of wrestling, German heels historically have always been kind of implied to be fascist. And if you look at the way Gunther is presented, it is kind of like a throwback to those old German Austrian heels. I'm talking about guys like Karl Van Hess, Karl Gotch, and of course, possibly the most famous German heel of them all, Fritz Atkinson, or AKA known as Fritz von Erich, the patriarch of the von Erich family. You might have heard of one of his sons, Kerry, AKA former Intercontinental Champion, the Texas Tornado. But the iconography has always been there. Kyle, did you put your hand up, sir? Do you have a question?
Tornado.
Got you. The professor is here to call on his students. If anybody has a question, please raise your hand and the professor will get to you. But just in general, that iconography has always been a part of wrestling history, and not usually for the good either. It's usually a very, very distasteful stereotype for anybody that's a foreign heel that usually comes from Germany or a German-speaking nation to be portrayed as militaristic, very extremist, and of course, in some way, shape, or form, relating to fascism of some way, in some fashion. You know, it's not necessarily the safest iconography to play with, and it's always been a trope because wrestling as a whole has always been a very stereotypical sport. But is that entirely a bad? Well, is that entirely a bad thing? I think so. But if you look at society, it really is a microcosm of society. You know, society usually relies on stereotypes to explain things that they don't understand fully. For example, you look at these heels and stuff like that, and you look at people from different nations or whatever have you, especially foreign nations. When I say foreign, I mean that as an American. They're usually not necessarily portrayed as faces, or they're portrayed in some way, shape, or form, or some type of stereotype. For example, you look at guys that are from Japan, ironically, another nation that was a part of World War II of the Axis powers, usually portrayed as martial artists and very, very distasteful towards women, for example. Women are usually seen as very inferior. Look at a guy like Kenzo Suzuki, who was in the WWE for a cup of coffee, and he would come out with his wife, Hiroko, who was his geisha. He was very demeaning to her and very talked down there and stuff like that. French heels are usually portrayed as very cowardly and very, very pompous and very prim and, you know, things of that nature. Look at Rene Dupree, who was Kenzo Suzuki's tag team partner on SmackDown in 2003. Are you raising your hand, sir?
Did you say Jermaine Dupree?
I said Rene Dupree.
Yeah, Rene Dupree.
Double check it. Just make sure. Make sure.
He's from Paris, Atlanta. But to get back to my original point, when you look at the name like Gunther and to give it to Walter, I see no problem with the name change personally. The WWE has always changed names. They've done that from the time the company was founded. For example, the Texas Tornado, Kerry Von Erich, was called the Texas Tornado. He was very rarely referred to by announcers as Kerry Von Erich. But when you look at a person like Walter, his presentation has always been like a throwback to those old German heels who unfortunately fall into a lot of stereotypes.
Yeah.
Do I think it's going to kill his career? Absolutely not. He'll be just fine. No. If you can get behind Dolph Ziggler and Orange Cassidy and Danhausen and R-Truth, I think a guy named Gunther who's actually chopping the shit out of people will be absolutely just fine. Do I think it's much to do about nothing? Probably. But considering the source of where they got it from in the history, I think it's worth looking into it. I think it's worth casting a little bit of a shadow on.
Do you think I was going to say, do you think that because if the media, I guess, never leaked the actual name of it being Gunther Stark, do you not think that it wouldn't have been this much of an uproar?
Oh, absolutely not. Absolutely not. The crazy thing is, considering if they would have given him any type of Austrian, German, Swiss name, more than likely would have been attached to a Nazi. Unfortunate. Right. And that's an unfortunate history that Germany shares, and a history that Germany has since long apologized for, and has outlawed in their country, unlike this one. But I think that he's in a rock and a hard place. I think so many people just know him as Walter, his real name. I think that a lot of people have been resistant to change. The WWE is changing names because they have to trademark things. They want to own the trademark. Do I think it's a stupid name change? Absolutely. Why not just call him Walter? Everybody knows him as Walter. He's been Walter for 3 years in the WWE. Just keep him as Walter. But want to own the trademark? That's their right as a business. He's working there. He's now Gunther. Get used to it. And like I said, if you can cheer for wrestlers named Dolph Ziggler, and you can cheer for a wrestler named Braun Breaker, and you can cheer for a wrestler named Danhausen, and you can cheer for a team that's named the Viking Raiders, who once were called the Viking Experience, and a team called the Best Friends, I think you'll be just fine with Gunther. Okay. My name is Professor Stretch, and class is dismissed.
I need that bell sound. I need to get the bell sound for you. Real quick in the comments, Tiff says, "Love your shirt, Striker."
Thank you, thank you. I think this was my
Oh,
first New Day shirt that I bought actually.
Court says, "Happy, hey guys, happy birthday to QS's mom."
Oh,
Yeah, yes. Courtney, thank you for even bringing that up before this all even
Mhm.
started. I guess we can take a rewind back. Yeah, I would like to just give a special shout out and a happy birthday, yes, to my mom. My mother, whose birthday was actually yesterday. She turns 54.
Happy birthday
Mama Storm.
to you.
Yes, yes.
Happy birthday
So
to you.
I'm glad she's home. She's just home enjoying her vacation because again she never
Mm.
worked on her birthday. So I'll just happy birthday, mama. I love you. Keep striving, keep having fun, and just keep being the mom that I always know you expect you to be. That's all I got to say on that.
Mhm.
But thank you for the shout out.
Happy
Aquarius
birthday
season.
to you. Happy birthday. James says 100. That's
One
when
hundo.
Professor Stretch was going on. What's up, James?
Thank you, James.
Our guest from last week, Mr. Chris Talafeo. Right? Did I say it right? Did I say it right? Did I say it wrong?
No,
Did I say it
Aaliyah
right?
Farrell.
What he said. But
pronounce
I
it.
didn't think we could get as worse as Kerwin White or the Mexican Mexicals riding lawnmowers. But going with a Nazi name is a bit much. They knew what they were doing with that.
Yeah.
He also said, racist overtones aside, I hate the name change because they presented him at Walter from the start. If you want to trademark his name, do it before he makes TV.
Mhm.
But
Absolutely.
I think
You can't
I
trademark his
will.
name.
I'll
they could
interject.
trademark his name. I don't think they could.
His real
No,
name.
they couldn't trademark his name, but also you have to remember as well, he was in the UK at the time, and that was his name all over the UK.
True.
Now that he's in the States, also with the possibility that he's going to the main roster, they want to trademark his name. So
Which is fair.
I get it. Do I think the name specifically, just like we had with our little session with Professor Stretch, do I think the name change is warranted? No, but things happen. This is a part of the business. This is a part of the crazy money making machine, and that's what they do, regardless if we like it or not.
I understand where everybody's coming from. I just don't see the point of like the outrage because it's not like it's his full name that they're using in like I guess in the being announced or using it in the ring. It's just Gunther.
Mhm.
It was just Gunther.
Well,
Like granted, yes, I get that where the actual name is where it was leaked, where it was found the history from. I just personally just think if that wasn't revealed, no one would ever be in
Yeah,
this much.
nobody would have gave
yeah,
up.
nobody
Gave
would.
a damn.
But
Nobody would.
his character has always been tied to
It's
that
been the
type.
same thing.
It's always been
Yeah.
tied to that. Even if he was Walter, it was still going to be tied to that.
It's the
So
same thing.
so like I said, like if we could if you wanted to, you could say like, oh, they're using Gunther Stark. That's a racial undertone. Walter's actual name, well, Walter, it comes from another Nazi, Walter Ralph. So it's just like really, what are we actually like talking about
So,
here?
I mean,
That's,
let's be honest. A name is a name.
the name is
I
a
mean,
name,
granted,
and it's
It's
the
what you
whole
bring to it.
the group Reinkoff, the group Imperium, where it all comes from. You know, the whole promo scene, the mat is sacred. That's all like Nazi purism. Like that's
Purism.
what
Yeah,
Yep.
their
purist
whole
values.
their whole
That's where it all
stick.
comes from. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
that's where it all comes from. So it's just like, oh yeah, if we
They're
weren't
wrestling
outraged,
purists.
I
that's
was
what I'm saying.
I
Exactly.
was
If we weren't outraged then, like I guess I'm most like asking, like, do we really have a need to be outraged now? That's where I'm just looking at. I'm looking at like the feedback, and I'm just like, I call it a little BS, but I get it. I do get it. It just doesn't affect
I
me.
I was surprised when doing research, for the whole information piece I just did, just a
Right.
little bit of education on, German iconography and German stereotyping in wrestling. I was surprised by a lot of the things that I found out, like just about not only just about Germany, but their presentation, because I don't have much access to European wrestling until WWE decided to put it on the WWE network, and I was looking into a lot of this stuff, and I'm like, looking at it, I'm like, no, you don't necessarily readily, I assume, associated with. There's just, I think we've come a long way as far as like presenting like international wrestlers and international media and stuff like that. Like, like stereotypes are slowly kind of being phased out of wrestling.
Right.
Sans Tony D'Angelo, but
slowly but surely.
Slowly but surely, and I get it. Some of these things do make good gimmicks and stuff like that, but as far as like Germany is a tired trope, I think. However, in this case, I was very surprised to learn like about a lot of their imagery and a lot of the fascistic, iconography that they would play with. For example, a lot of the words that they use, that they're like pure wrestlers to cleanse the mat and stuff like that. And the only wrestling that they believe in, is the wrestling that they practice because they think it's pure and that's how wrestling should be. A lot of that has, I hate to say it, a lot of that has overtones of fascist regimes.
Yep.
And most notably, I'm going to come out and say it, Nazi Germany, because that's what we more readily associate with them. There were two Germans in Imperium. There's an Italian and there's an Austrian. That's the Axis powers right there, essentially. The Japanese guy, and they call it basically would be the axis of evil. But I was reading a lot of this stuff and like a lot of the things that happened in the past. Bartel actually put a tweet that he deleted that said Imperium over everything. And that is a phrase that is frowned upon in Germany because of the national anthem and the history behind it. The German national anthem, for example, they don't sing the first two verses because that was celebrated by Nazi Germany. Germany's done an excellent job of cleansing like its current state, especially after the First World War, of anything that is fascistic, of anything that is related to Nazism. They will literally arrest you, for example, if you start goose stepping anywhere and throwing up the Sig Heil, which is that the salute, the straight arm salute that Nazis were doing during the World War. That's why JBL actually got in trouble because he was trying to draw heat in Germany and he started goose stepping and he was kind of doing the Sig Heil. He almost got arrested for that. Right. But to get back to the point, Bartel tweeted Imperium over everything. That has a lot to do with Germany's national anthem, in which the first two verses are kind of outlawed in Germany. They don't sing that because Nazi Germany celebrated those two verses, especially during that time period. So again, I don't think that was intentional. I'm not implying that, he did this to draw heat or whatever have you, or to try to stir up bad memories of Nazi Germany or whatever have you. But a tweet like that, like we think is innocent in America, holds a lot of weight internationally.
Right.
From where he's from. It's not seen as the same. And a lot of these gimmicks, I wonder, because full disclosure, I was on Reddit and was asking questions and stuff like that. It was a German gentleman who happened to comment on the controversy, and I asked him, how do you feel as a German, about all of this? Is it much to do about nothing, or is this pretty serious? And we got into a small conversation about how Germans have been portrayed in America. Most of the time now, when we think of things like Germany, we think of Oktoberfest and then freaking bratwurst and stuff like that. But there was a point in time where people from Germany were portrayed as Nazis in America. They were evil, and when you were like with a German, it was considered like conferring with the enemy and stuff like that. We've come a long way since that time, but that iconography still lasts in wrestling in some cases, and a modern example of that is Imperium, unfortunately.
Yep.
Anybody got anything else?
No, I think that was it. That was actually very informative. I mean, we got as much of the deep dive as we could.
Yes.
This was actually well versed. I'll take that with me to understand going forward. When it comes into the because we don't really have to go. I know we don't have to go further into like the history of Gunther Stark or what he did. I mean,
No, we don't. He was.
we don't need to do all of that. Everybody already knows. They can go.
Quick Google search, like WWE should have done. Quick
Yeah.
Google search will save you a lot of time.
Yeah, and I know they and I think they already knew that they messed up, and they're just like,
they,
why they're doubling back and doing great PR right now. So it's just like,
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It's
All
kind
right.
of
Well, Robin.
I said it's kind of blown over a little bit. You know, the people are outraged. How could they name him after a Nazi? Which I was there. To be fair, he didn't use the entire name.
He didn't use the entire
Right.
name. He just used Gunther. Yes.
So this was oh my god, I'm so tired. My fault. I'm bugging right now. WWE changed out the name. So why the name change? I mean, we could get into that, but there's so much more. This was Mom Dukes right here. So hey mom.
Hey,
How you
Mom.
doing? What's going on? Excuse me. Jeez. I'm bugging right now. Anyways. Royal Rumble's coming up this Saturday, baby.
Yeah.
30-man men's, 30-man women's Royal Rumble. There's a lot going on. So why don't we talk a little bit about the matches and then we'll get into the Rumble, like the actual Rumble itself.
Indeed.
What match would y'all like to start with? That is the question.
Well, other than the matches that we know, which is the two title matches, what else do we have?
That's a good
Pull
point.
it up right now.
So, all right. So we know that the Raw Women's title match is the man Becky Lynch versus Doudrop.
No longer the man, sir.
Oh, it's big time Bex.
Big time
Right,
Bex.
big time
No
Bex.
longer the man.
Same difference.
Yeah.
I
mean, if y'all want to get started with that, I guess. I guess a quick
got it.
Quick synopsis. Obviously, you know, Doudrop was the number one contender. A lot of people didn't think that she was actually gonna get this far, but she came a long way, you know, courtesy of the help of Becky herself, because Becky has once again dodging Bianca Belair. She didn't want to see her in this title match at the Rumble. And, you know, the story of what it looks like, it's funny to see how, you know, Becky is trying to make it look like Doudrop has to be thankful that she's gonna just be in this match with her. Like this is gonna bring some type of relevancy, like to her career. Like this should be like this is like a once in a lifetime for her. And you know, Doudrop is just not phased, just laughing at it, not phased by like you can see like Becky's character is arrogance, it's pure arrogance. The ego, her ego is up there. So you know it's going to be interesting to see if Doudrop will try to at least humble her. If Becky is going to be humbled, we'll see. I
can't humble somebody unless they get the W.
I mean that's true. You can't humble anyone until you get that W over that one. That's
tell that to the Iron Sheik, boys.
Well,
but
it's more than one way to humble.
But honestly, I think this would be a good matchup, I guess, then for Becky, because Becky has not gone against the actual, besides Bianca, she hasn't gone against the powerhouse.
Right.
Besides, so this would be interesting to see. I don't know. Obviously, I personally think that Becky's just going to cheat to win. It's her spiel. It's her run on for right now. I don't like it, but I know I already know it's like, okay, so Becky's probably just gonna most likely be going to WrestleMania. She's gonna
you gotta sell the pay-per-view. So excuse me, you have to sell the premium live events.
Yes.
You have to sell something as big as that with, you know, you have a cornerstone of the women's division on both ends, I assume, and that's how you get people invested in the matches.
Right. Well, one of the other matches that is definitely going on is the Grit couple, Edge and his wife Beth Phoenix, versus the It couple, The Miz versus Reese.
Ooh,
that's
gonna love it.
That's a wash. It's a wash.
I actually don't think it's a wash. I think we might get a very interesting match.
It-
on
it's they're gonna
Saturday.
they're gonna have a great match.
Maurice is going to surprise us on Saturday.
I
You
don't
think
think so.
so?
I
don't
think
think-
Maurice is going to surprise us on Saturday.
We'll see.
I don't think. So. I don't see
I'm
it.
not particularly. I mean, I wouldn't say I'm not invested, but I mean, I it could go either way. I'm not necessarily too sure who wins. I honestly can see Miz and Maurice winning via cheating, but I think that'll be done to stretch out the feud maybe till WrestleMania. Are both men in the Rumble match? I'm not entirely sure because that can bleed over.
I don't think so.
I don't think
I don't
they're in the
even
Rumble. There's some
I don't
spots.
think
I don't think they're in the
match-
match at all.
The men's match, I believe, has 3 surprises. The women's match, I think, has 10 surprises. So the men's
We'll
match,
see.
you may not get anything too crazy with.
Yeah.
I mean,
And honestly, I don't think either one of them needs to be in a Rumble, if you want me to be honest. They don't need to be in a Rumble. They're going to need
No.
something towards WrestleMania, obviously, but
Yeah.
I don't think you're going to need anything.
I
in the
think.
Rumble.
I think. If by storyline purposes, it could lead all the way to WrestleMania. It could be, Miz and Maurice, they finally get a win, and it's like, all right, we stretch this going on to WrestleMania. Be like, all right, this is the one final one and done. But then I also think that it could also just be like they would have them both. It would probably not be a tag team match at WrestleMania. It would just probably be a singles between Edge and Miz with both
some
wives.
type of special match.
Yeah, with both wives in their corner or something. It would be
Yeah.
something like that. Like,
Or vice versa. It could
Vice
be
versa.
Beth versus Maurice.
That's true.
And
That's
get
true.
Miz and Edge in the corner.
That's
and
true.
one of them is like a loser leaves WWE like for good. Like, don't see them for like that's it. Like, boom, get out. We'll never know. But I still consider it's just gonna go. It'll go quick. It's not gonna be a 20-minute match. It'll go for a fairly decent time. I think it's just gonna be entertaining, and I'd say we're gonna be
As
entertaining.
it has been.
It's really gonna be just entertaining just because of these 4. Like they're gonna be able to make it entertaining. They work together, but we already know like Becky's gonna be not Becky. Whoa, Beth.
Ooh.
Sorry,
Ooh.
we
No
already know.
comparison.
We already know Beth Phoenix is going to rip Maurice apart. She's
Miz too.
probably
for real.
most likely Miz too. Yeah. It's
Let's see what else we got. So the two heavyweight title matches. The first one is the champion, Fun Brock Lesnar, versus the Almighty Bobby Lashley.
That's the one I want to see.
That match is going to be.
That's the one.
That has to end the show. That has to end the
It's
show.
not.
Nah, the Rumble is probably one of the Rumbles are going to end the show.
The Rumble always ends the show. It's always the Rumble.
I think. Wait, you know what? Let me take that back. You're right. The men's Rumble may end the show.
I think this is probably the one match that I don't think anybody can call. It probably will low key be the match of the night because I just only because of the anticipation. It's anticipation, and it's literally 2. If you want to consider them super athletes, it's 2 athletes that almost have
Yeah, that's true.
2 super athletes, almost the same career, somewhat. Well, at least Bobby just has a better MMA record, but Brock is just more known.
Brock has more accolades. Former UFC heavyweight champion, also.
Yes.
I think Brock wins it personally, but Bobby, I could see Lashley winning it. I wouldn't be terrible.
Bobby ain't gonna be no bitch.
Right. I think the storyline of Lashley being taken lightly by Lesnar is going to bite Lesnar in the ass. If he takes him too lightly,
he
can end up losing. I think that's the intriguing part about this. We'll see what happens. I think the dynamic on the outside is just as interesting as what's happening on the inside of the ring.
Oh yeah,
exactly.
You have MVP, who to me is the best manager in wrestling to me right now. And you have Paul Heyman also on the outside, who is you can make
the greatest manager of all time.
You can make an argument for it. He's not mine, but you can make an argument for Heyman.
You can also have the argument that he's
Yes.
like the greatest mind of all time.
Yeah,
Debatable.
Wouldn't say debatable.
He's up there.
I mean, listen, everything's debatable. You know what I'm saying? Real quick, I just want to jump into the comments from our conversation about the women's title. That was Kev, who's on Facebook. Becky is not losing the belts going into Mania. James said Becky's definitely going to cheat.
Has to.
I'm glad we're getting another fresh face in this women's champion picture.
That's the beauty of it.
Yeah, and then this was in relation to Edge and Miz saying that he hopes that they're not in it. Excuse me.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, this match is very exciting for a lot of reasons. They've always kind of missed each other, whether it was side the WWE, whether it was Japan, whether it was MMA, or you know back into the WWE. It always seemed like they kind of missed each other. So it makes this really exciting.
Management.
Yeah, this is just really exciting just because, you know, if you're fans, longtime fans of the business, you know, or up and coming researchers or people who know the business or know their history.
Historians. That guy. Where is it? Like that guy.
If you're the historian,
There we go.
the encyclopedia, which is Stretch. You know, we've been wanting this match forever. It wasn't even like they spoke about it. You know, fans used to talk about it before social media was
a few years. This is a few years.
Was all a rage, if you will. So yeah, man, this is going to be really crazy. Honestly, I also think Brock is going to win. I think this would be amazing for Bobby Lashley. Like talk about a career defining moment. You know, Bobby Lashley beats Brock Lesnar. Like that would be insane, and I'd be absolutely over the moon for Bobby Lashley.
Yeah,
but this is Mania season. And unless there's something big for Brock Lesnar to fight, that isn't for a title. You know, he's not losing. He's not losing.
I mean, no, that's the only other like thing for Brock would have to be Roman, because they would want to finish that story. That story
Unless.
Unless
we'll get there.
Because I'm still it's not unless, because I'm still talking. That's why. I would think that it, like I said, it would be great to see Bobby win this title, because then that still leaves the window of opportunity open for anybody else on Raw. Like the opportunity is still open, and he is really the only other strong candidate to be champion. He's the only other one that's like valid, that had a real dominant run as champion. It would only make sense for him to go into Mania again as champion. That's the way it would. Brock is just having fun. How I look at it, it don't matter if Brock has a title. Brock's having fun. Face Brock is entertaining as ever. I don't even think people realize. Some people don't even realize that Brock is actually the face in this matchup. Like he's and that's what makes it even more hilarious. Like he's just having a good old time. But
before you continue, I'm just writing down that earlier quote. It's not unless, because I'm still talking. Go ahead. Go ahead. I've got to use that one day somehow, somewhere.
It'll happen.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Get on your corner and you'll like it.
but overall, I mean, it's just, this is just really like, I just hope that this is not the once in a lifetime, never before, never again. I would want to see Brock and Bobby like toe to toe again. Like I want this to be like a series. I want this to be like a gauntlet. I don't want this to just be a one and done. Like they have to find some way to just be like, yo, make these two cross their paths like a little bit more, like just to the point that we'll finally just be like, all right, we're tired of seeing these two wrestle each other like this because you're getting in your mind, you know how athletic Brock is, you know how athletic Bobby is, and you're just thinking, yeah, you're like, this is going to be a good match. This is the one. This is the mega match that will probably steal the show for this particular pay-per-view this weekend. Like it can't fail. It just can't fail. There's no way. Unless they do like 26 seconds, then it's just like
right.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna get that.
Well,
so then good 15-20 out of that.
And who's you guys' picks, the bottom two, like QS and Striker? Who's gonna
win? Bobby, mine's Brock.
I'm the same way.
I said that better myself.
So we're all in unison, pretty much.
That's better myself. That was really
it sucks because, like, in my heart and soul, like I want Bobby to win, and it'd be like Bobby wins. It'll be like even if my glasses falls off. Like I'll be literally sitting here if Bobby wins, but I know Brock's gonna win. It's just more entertaining to see Brock with a belt. So it's just like, all right.
James says this would definitely be big for Bobby. I'm thinking Brock gets screwed over to make this match versus Roman happen.
Could happen.
Possibility.
That's a possibility.
Well, that was going to lead into a question I had. What match do you think is going to be first then? Do you think they go first, or do you think the other match goes first?
Honestly, I think the women's match goes first.
No, that's not what I'm talking about. He's talking about the championship matches.
He's talking about the title matches. Which one is
Roman's first? After?
I'm gonna make a bold prediction, and I'm gonna say the Women's Royal Rumble opens the show. I think the Women's Royal Rumble is gonna open the show, and
I can see that.
Framework clearer for everything else.
It'll get everybody hyped. It'll hype everybody.
But yeah, but honestly, Brock and Bobby is going to go on before
Men's Royal Rumble,
which is the match we're going into before Reigns.
I think differently, but let's speak of the match.
Well, I mean, of course, you know, it got to go on before your golden. It has to go on before your golden boy. Like that. Just.
I mean, that's not why I said that, but yeah. I mean, it does.
It's implied.
Anyways, the Universal Championship is the champion, the tribal chief, the head of the table, the GOAT, as Pat McAfee would say. Roman Reigns versus the architect, the visionary, the revolutionary.
That laugh.
So great. Seth Rollins. Listen, man, they're both on another level right now. They're both in their best stride right now.
They are in the prime of their characters. They have finally solidified themselves as characters.
They're in their peak. They're really in their peak. They're in their peak.
Yeah. So and even the way they move, everything is, their whole style is different. So this match is really special just because, you know, we've seen these matches a number of times. You know, and not a crazy amount, but we've seen it a decent amount of times, and every time it's been a great match. Every single time they have put on a show. So as we know, as history dictates, Seth Rollins has won every world title match, which has been 2, I believe.
No, he's beat him 5 times, if I remember correctly.
4 titles.
Not for titles, but definitely. But I'm just thinking in total, I believe it's 5 times.
Roman's track record is not.
Yeah.
Well, I know he's never beat him.
Yeah, the singles record, it's not good against Seth, which is
so
it's interesting.
So that adds a lot.
No, you said for titles, right?
Yeah.
I think it's twice for the WWE Championship.
Yep.
Once for the IC title, if I remember correctly. And the other 2 matches, I forget what the other 2 matches were, but I think it's 5 times. He's 5-0 against Roman.
So that plays a big part. But yeah, man, they're both in such a stride right now and riding such a high that, you know, this is definitely a WrestleMania main event. This is a main event any day of the week, any card in any promotion. Excuse me. I think whoever goes out of this will probably have the bigger match, the bigger main event for WrestleMania.
Mm.
But it's going to be fun. I think this is going to be the most fun. And I know that's weird to say, considering it's the Royal Rumble, and the Royal Rumble matches are always, fun, if you will. Excuse me. But when it comes to just these one-on-one title matches, I think this match is going to be, they're gonna show you why the two are the best. Period.
Yep.
Period. And they know each other so well. The reversals and everything is about to be crazy. So, gents, who you think is going to take it? Because personally, as much as I will always support my tribal chief, this is really a toss-up.
Seth is one.
I'm going Reigns. Ain't no toss-up for me. I'm going with Reigns. I don't see him losing in the Royal Rumble. If he does lose, he's losing at WrestleMania. I don't see him losing to Seth. No disrespect to Seth, but I just don't see him losing at the Rumble. I really don't.
While it would be storyline purposes, it would make sense to give it to Reigns and be like he finally has a one victory over Seth.
Yeah,
I would still
only
give
one,
it to
though.
That's only one. I would give it to Seth as a shock factor because that really would really would stun everybody. It's gonna stun the whole crowd. It's gonna stun Pat McAfee especially. He's just like
that. Oh my god, he would lose his mind.
And I mean, granted, like it would be a good shock factor. It would actually add more into the story. It would be like, okay, well, yeah, Reigns is the longest reigning Universal champion of all time, and that's great. And you lost. That's going to be the running factor of it for his storyline going forward until he gets another title back. You lost. And of course, that'll probably cause a dissension in the bloodline. This is how it starts to make the story look crazy, and it's going to be like, all right, it starts to trickle down. It's not gonna hurt if Reigns loses the title. It's not going to hurt him because if Brock does end up winning, 9 times out of 10, that's where it's gonna lead back to now. Reigns and Lesnar going against each other.
It would be
that belt, and he brings the WWE title to SmackDown.
I was just about to say that it'd be real interesting if Rollins won and then takes the Universal title to Raw and Brock goes back to SmackDown with the WWE title.
It would be funny.
I was about to mention that we actually have 3 Raw superstars essentially competing for championships. If you count, counting Brock, I assume he goes wherever the hell he wants.
Oh yeah,
I don't think they definitely solidified that he's on Raw or SmackDown right.
He's on the Brock show.
Raw, SmackDown.
Brock's a free agent. He can just go wherever he wants.
Theoretically, with Seth challenging a SmackDown
NXT, here he comes.
We have 2 Raw superstars in the championship match here, so the titles could switch brands. The titles could switch hands. You don't know how it's going to work. The only thing you can do is tune in and find out, I suppose.
Agreed.
Striker, you never gave your prediction.
I'm never putting Roman in my heart. So, heart and mind, Seth Rollins.
None of us put Trump's in our hearts, but he unfortunately was president. So.
Wow.
Yeah, I went there. I said it.
Okay.
I said it.
Well, I mean, it's not.
I said it.
Wow.
It's not the worst.
James says, agreed with Kyle. Both their current personas are top tier. They're going to put on a wrestling clinic.
Yes, sir.
Oh, with Lance Armstrong.
He also says Reigns is on fire. He's not dropping that. He's not dropping the title at the Rumble. We are the ones.
We'll see.
We the ones.
Ones that you're told about, and we are walking.
All right, so let's get into the Royal Rumble matches. Let's start.
Wow.
Couldn't help it.
Old school Rumble.
Dude, trademark.
Let's do it.
Which one are we going with? Which one are we starting with then?
We're going to start with the women's.
That's low key. I feel like the women's is probably going to be the more exciting version of the Rumble.
since its debut, it low-key has.
It's more exciting, and because we only know 10. We only know 10 superstars that are confirmed. And it's just like it's just
For the
so.
women's, no.
No, we know more than that.
There's
It's more than
20.
that.
We know
There's
20.
20. There's 20 that we don't know.
No, there's 10 we don't know.
That's what I meant.
It's 10 that we know are surprises. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
But it's just as you see it, it's just like, huh. It just leaves so much window of like possibilities. Like, well, who else are they gonna add? Like, we even have the so-called Forbidden Door is officially open, I guess now, because you have
At least for this.
Yeah, for this, you even have Mickie James, TNA Knockouts champion, Mickie James coming in into the Royal Rumble. It's like,
let's see if she brings the title with her.
That would be the interesting part.
That'll be fun.
That'd be dope.
I mean, the only person
they even called for the Iconics and look, they're.
Well, I mean, they did turn it down. It was just like, oh, well, that
good on them.
I guess
their prerogative.
It's understandable.
WWE legend Summer Rae is going to be involved.
Oh God!
Hey, Summer Rae's involved. Screw it. She's here. She's going to be there. I think the only one that I've just rolling my eyes at is that Charlotte's in the Royal Rumble, even though she doesn't need to be.
I will tell you my whole spiel on why that's a great choice. I will explain.
I mean, I know it has. I already know that it has to deal with Naomi because like I said, it just goes to show. And look at it, I'm just like, well, once again, you guys have nothing for Charlotte. Y'all haven't. She's just nothing for her to do. So why not put her in the Rumble? She's already going to be. I already know she's not lasting in that. She's not going to last in that Rumble. That's in my prediction. I believe that almost everybody is going to go after Charlotte and just get her the hell out of here because. Yeah. Again, she's pissed. She's almost pissed the entire roster on both sides off. She's pissed everybody off. So it's just like, yo, just get her out. Like, we don't need her here. Yeah. I do think we will see a couple of returns. I believe that we will see Asuka come back into this Rumble.
Yes.
I believe we're going
dark horse.
We're going to see Asuka come back. We're going to see Bayley come back. We are also going to possibly see. We're not going to see Trish. We already know Lita's in it, but I don't think Trish is going to be it. I don't
think Trish is in it either.
No, she's not. I say we're not going to see Trish. She's not. I think it would be funny if you see AJ Lee.
That would be interesting.
So
that would be interesting.
I would love to see AJ, but I think it's already confirmed.
But I already know that
she can't take another bump. That she won't take another bump.
Fair enough. But I think, but then the real true return, as I know it's probably going to happen, is we're going to see fucking Ronda. We're going to see Ronda come back.
I think that's what also.
Yeah, Ronda's going to be back in this Rumble.
I have a couple of surprises when you're done.
But I'll just leave it at that. I just think Naomi is probably going to get into. Will probably, if she's not the one that ends up winning the Rumble, she's going to be in the bottom four.
Oh,
she'll definitely be in the bottom four. I think Naomi will make it to the bottom four. She's going to have. This is going to be the matchup where you're going to see people, the fans, like clamor to root for Naomi. Like it's, but it's going to be. Well, there's gonna be some heavy hitters. There's gonna be some heavy hitters today.
Nah, man, she's gonna end up getting the DB treatment when Rumble when he came back and everybody wanted him to win, but he didn't.
I remember it like it was yesterday.
Man, the same one where Mysterio got booed out of the building when he was number 30.
No, that was 2014.
But that might
wanted him in the Rumble and they didn't put him in it.
That might turn into one of the biggest works of one of the biggest works since Daniel Bryan. It just might, and it'll work.
Yeah,
it's gonna work.
It could work.
I'll explain the Naomi situation, and it Charlotte is definitely involved. I think. Okay, so here's a scenario. Tomorrow night on SmackDown, we get Sonya Deville versus Naomi officially. No bullshit.
Right.
We get that match. Naomi beats Sonya clean tomorrow. Naomi goes into the Rumble with momentum, high momentum off of that win.
Yep.
Charlotte's talking the most crap. Charlotte's the one. Naomi's the one to eliminate Charlotte. Lo and behold, Cinderella's story. You know, we get all the returns. We even see maybe Naomi and Asuka square off, where you're thinking, "Oh crap, Asuka's going to beat the crap out of Naomi." We get a Naomi surprise. Naomi ends up winning the Rumble. That is the Naomi side of things. As for surprises, Raquel Gonzalez will be in the Rumble.
Wait, wait.
Oh my God!
Wait, save the surprise. Save the surprises for a second.
Damn.
That was the second part of his spiel. He was gonna.
Oh,
She obviously, but she's going to be one of the people that Naomi probably gets into
I
a
think
tussle
so.
with.
This is
why I'm thinking that.
Let's just look. Surprise entrance. We're just jumping to it now, just for the women's rumble.
Just let me get this out really quick. I think I don't think Charlotte's going to win. I think whoever. I hope she doesn't at least. I think it's stupid. I agree with QS wholeheartedly. I think it's stupid to have a champion in the match, but I think whoever eliminates Charlotte will go on to feud with Charlotte in WrestleMania. I think. Whether that be now, I think the ideal situation if WWE get Ronda Rousey to return, she faces off against Charlotte. Never been done before. Two of your bigger names or whatever have you. Boom. It's a match that makes itself. If that happens. As far as a surprise entrant or whatever have you, man, it's a lot of room for ladies that there's going to be some ladies that are on the roster that they just didn't announce that are going to be in this match. For example, they haven't announced Xia Li. Xia Li, I think, is going to be in the match.
Another one.
She's another dark horse. Yes.
Yeah, I think she's going to be in. That's another bold prediction I have. I think she's going to be in the Final Four.
Good choice.
I think a surprise entrant, honestly, that hasn't been announced. Shayna Baszler.
Shayna Baszler, she's announced.
Is she announced?
She didn't get announced. She didn't. She hasn't been on.
Unless she is. If she is.
No, she wasn't announced.
If I
would have blatantly remembered.
I don't really count that as a surprise entrant. She's on the roster. Like you see Shayna. Like I had to pick a surprise entrant for the women. Kairi Sane. I'll go out on a limb and say Kairi Sane will be in the Royal Rumble match. And it's like, okay,
quick payday.
Does this little thing, quick payday. You see you off in a Stardom or wherever you want to go, AEW or whatever, fine. You get the Rumble, you give somebody a rub, and then boom, she's gone.
Right.
I think that's I think for as far as surprise entrance with nothing to lose, that's the best one. I had another one that just popped in my head. I want to see if anybody's going to say it. But
Swole.
No way. I don't think that's going to happen.
Swole. As much as it will be dope to see Swole, but that's a reach.
I don't know. I don't think it's a
but
reach.
If Swole does show up, the company gets more. If Swole does show up, the company gets more brownie points.
Of course.
I see what you did there. I see what you did there.
Points. Funny.
Take notes, Tony.
You know who I think is a dark horse to appear in the Rumble? Paige.
Yeah.
You think so?
Dark horse to appear in the Rumble. I think so.
There's a lot of rumors on that.
Yeah, she's been stirring a lot of promotion on Twitter. Like, Corey Graves recently got cleared.
Let me tell you something. If Paige came back,
the case could be reopened. You never know.
I can see a lot of I see a lot of fans crying. They're gonna cry.
Yeah,
because that's a talent that was cut so short.
So short. Her career. Oh my God. So let's jump to the end, gentlemen. Who's gonna go to Mania from the Women's Royal Rumble? You just need one name.
Naomi.
Damn.
Liv Morgan.
Huh.
Okay.
I think Liv Morgan's gonna do it. I think third time's the charm. I think that she's done more than enough to improve herself in singles competition. I think to cap off her story, which is similar to, honestly, the Daniel Bryan arc. If you really think about it, he's gotten to a championship match and she's been cheated and screwed and lost
twice over.
Exactly. I think that if she wins the Royal Rumble, that gives her enough momentum to go into WrestleMania, and I think she wins it cleanly from Becky Lynch if that's the champion going into Mania. I'm going with Liv Morgan. That's my pick for the Women's Royal Rumble.
Okay.
It hurts because y'all know me. Y'all know I'm like the Bianca Belair. Like I got the sign up and everything. Like I'll go for her.
You bought the braid.
She did, and I really even think Bianca. I want to say Bianca.
I mean, you bought the braid.
I mean, yeah, bought the braid and had to put on my shorty and everything. Yep, absolutely.
It looks like a Padawan braid.
Yeah, it does.
I'm down braid.
Pack of links, smoked links.
But I do. I'm just gonna go with. I'm just go with Ronda. I think Ronda's gonna win this. I think Ronda's
controversial.
Yeah, it's gonna be controversial because if she does win it, I already know who she's going after. I know who she's going after.
Yeah. I'm probably not going to be right, but I want to be right. I'm going to say Bianca becomes the first back-to-back two-time champ, two-time Royal Rumble winner.
I'd be okay with that too. Nothing wrong with that. I'd be okay.
Another name.
I think it's very much a possibility.
Bianca versus Ronda. Anybody?
That would be an interesting matchup.
That would be
ready
dope.
for that.
If Ronda appears again,
yeah.
We shall see.
She's training, so we'll see.
Before we get into the next one.
This is one of the first Rumbles where we've it could be. It's a possibility given the amount of surprise entrants, the amount of slots they haven't announced that a quote unquote surprise entrant could win the match.
That's right. Yeah. James said, "I'm still." Excuse me. Sorry, long day. I'm still upset they called Summer Rae a legend.
So it's Twitter.
Tiff said, "Say it louder. Her presence isn't needed." Talking about Charlotte.
She's not. She's really not.
She gave Naomi the hard eyes because Naomi's awesome.
She's storyline piece.
James said Ronda's coming back to reclaim the title she never lost. Hashtag familiar.
It's true. She never
lost that title.
you have that for her. You have that for Becky, and then you can also say Asuka. Yeah. Asuka has a claim back to get her title.
Yep. This is why I say that women's division.
The Bianca hard eyes emoji.
Yeah, that women's
Rumble has the most storylines with the surprise entrance.
Yeah, you already you can see so many storylines forming from that, and it could form once those two particular women are no longer champion.
Yep,
we know this,
which will happen very soon.
Can't wait.
And then
Chelsea,
the men's Rumble.
Woo!
So there was a lot of participants already announced. This has
There's
the one thing about the Rumble
surprises, apparently, from what I see.
The one thing about the Rumble is that it's really, excuse me, I'm so sorry. It's really up in the air. So there has been many a year where we had watched the progressions of a lot of storylines. We were like, okay, it's obvious this person is going to win. Mm-hmm. It's obvious that person is going to win. But honestly, it really does seem like ever since the introduction to the Women's Royal Rumble, both have been a lot more unpredictable. And we do know that the Royal Rumble mistakes happen all the time. Infamously, we already know about Vince McMahon ripping both of his quads, jumping into the ring when Batista and John Cena both went over the ropes by accident. So, anyways, what I mean to basically say is that the Rumble it's so unpredictable, but gents, have at it.
This is a tough one to call this year.
For the men's,
you want to just call it?
Call absolutely.
Then let's go straight to the call it.
The men's definitely it can be tough. It's tough to call it too because you really don't know who actually they want to put that strap on and be like, okay, send it to Mania. We don't know. It's just like
you really don't.
It's like a fan favorite you'd want to probably see win would be AJ Styles.
Yeah,
AJ,
That would be cool.
AJ. I would like to see AJ win it.
I don't need AJ.
Agreed.
AJ winning the Rumble would really like shake things up. It's just like, oh, okay.
It would.
I'm
You
good.
saying, you good, but it's just like no, like I think AJ winning that Rumble, he'll get it. He'll give Roman Reigns, if Roman Reigns still is champion, he'll give Reigns a 6-star match.
Assuming Roman is champion.
If Roman's champion, he'll give him a 6-star match. Hell, if Seth wins and AJ went after Seth,
That's the AJ I want to see.
that's gonna be the match of the year.
That's
the
a good
match.
choice.
That's it.
Loki, a good choice to win this. That's a good choice.
Yeah, like AJ would be a good fan favorite to win. I mean,
with his track record, that's the beauty of the Royal Rumble. With his track record, he's been in mid card with the tag team stuff with Almost. And stuff, put him there to develop Almost, but he wins the Royal Rumble. It puts him right back in contention. Puts him right back.
That's the beautiful thing about the Rumble.
Beautiful thing about the Rumble.
Let's be honest about this. AJ doesn't need the Rumble to be. No, and I'm not saying that it's not a good choice. It's a fucking excellent choice. I would have had AJ won that year he debuted, but
when he debuted, that was a hell of a surprise. That would have been crazy. Nobody. I don't even think the dirt sheet saw that shit coming. They was just.
They did. They did. There was talk about it for the longest.
He's just 50-50.
And then
they were just 50-50 on it. They're like, could it really happen?
It was the thing was like the talks, and it was the talks and the talks, and
but the fact he was third that year, that was shocking.
Nobody knew when his music hit. Nobody knew who it was. That was the best part.
Yeah,
not until the graphics said phenomenal. That is when
it was just like
that's when everybody started going nuts, and that was the dope part. But no, AJ really is a great pick.
The person I don't want them to give it to, don't give it to Big E. Big E doesn't need a Rumble.
Really? You don't want Big E to win? Wow.
As much as I'm happy to Big E. Big E's always going to be in the title contention. Like he's solidified himself. He solidified himself. He doesn't even need the Rumble win. It's an easy way to ship him into the title contention. But Big E's like his story alone is just like, yo, you want to see him keep on growing and like chasing for the title. Like you want to see that. So I think Big E doesn't need the win. Kofi is going to do another spot.
He's so rude.
Kofi always does do a spot.
He's gonna do a spot. I mean, well,
Naomi's gonna do a spot.
Naomi's
gonna do a spot.
Jay Marvel, just remember, there's only one more member that has to answer.
He's been at 5 again before.
Not just that. Yeah, that's not just that. Anyway,
why you say
he's already coming back from injury. You don't need him to get injured again.
You know what we meant.
Yeah, because we have to always keep reminding K Marvel every time he shows a new day. We have to keep reminding him.
This will be a new day, all right.
Yeah.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, yes, it is. Sure.
Up until he pulls the shock of the universe. Watch.
Okay. But I will say, another person I don't want to see them like make sure wins the Rumble. Don't give it to Drew. Please don't give it to Drew.
Drew's not back. Drew's not going to be in the Rumble.
He's hurt.
He's got a neck
injury. He was initially going to be my pick.
Oh, you think so?
God, no.
But once the injury happened, now I know he's not going to be there for a little while.
Everyone's going to.
You might see him at Mania, though. You might see him at Mania.
A lot of y'all are going to think that that QS is kind of bugging. QS is maybe just going out of his mind.
I mean,
low key, the person that I do think is going to return and is going to may everybody like faint if he wins. I think Bray Wyatt's coming back.
I've heard that. I read a rumor.
Somebody else was talking about that.
I read a rumor about that. If he comes back,
I really think Bray is coming back.
That would be mind blowing if he came back. Now,
if he comes back and the choices are Roman and Brock,
oh no, it has to be Roman. Payback's a bitch.
Oh yeah, it has to be Roman.
It has to be back.
Roman has to answer. Roman would have to answer the call to the Fiend.
Yeah,
he'd have to answer the call.
I would definitely I'd have a Survivor Series moment.
Yeah.
Imagine Bray is the 3 surprises.
Imagine 3 faces.
Imagine
that would be great.
Husky Harris,
No, you get
Swamp Lion,
Old
Fiend.
Swamp Bray, you get Firefly Funhouse Bray, and then you get the Fiend.
That's good too.
Triple payday. He deserves anybody that wrestles in one of those sweaters. He deserves to get a payday. Sweater was hot, man.
In the Mr. Rogers sweater.
Yeah, that thing could not be comfortable to wrestle in. But that's an interesting choice for a surprise return. I can totally see it happening. This business is predicated on never say never.
Right.
People will say, "Oh, he disagreed with Vince McMahon. He'll never come back." You know how many people have disagreed with Vince McMahon? Marty Jannetty, for example, was fired multiple times in '93 and brought back multiple times in the same year, multiple times in his tenure. Like, I mean, if he can get that many goddamn chances, Bray Wyatt can come back. It's not a far-fetched idea.
Yeah, word.
Like Vince, there's an old saying, like Vince McMahon will hire anybody he thinks he can make money with. He can make money with Bray Wyatt.
I mean, it's already been proven that he
still
could.
selling Fiend merchandise.
I
think another.
I have the math somewhere.
I think another name that possibly could come back, says he's a freelance worker, is Braun Strowman. Strowman's another name that could come back and
come back for this.
Make some noise. You never know. But if I had to pick a winner, I'm not entirely sure. I guess I'll reserve my pick for Saturday night. We do our little live stream and everything. I'm still thinking about it, but I know a dark horse when I see one. I know a dark horse when I see one. Austin Theory's a dark horse to win.
Yeah, he is.
Austin Theory is going to be in the Final Four.
I think he's going to be in the Final Four for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I know everybody's one. I don't know, Striker, you're still on Austin Theory, but Austin.
No. I'm not on Austin Theory. I actually had a surprise entrant, which would be the Demon Finn Balor. That's going to eliminate him. That's what I was ultimately.
That'll be a good
feud.
I don't think he'd use the Demon for the Rumble though.
He would never say never.
Yeah, true.
I'm not saying never. I just said I don't think he would.
But I say that Austin Theory, like the boy got the look. He's got the look. He's He's athletic. He has a look.
Vince's rocket on his back right now.
Vince is high on him. Vince loves him. So I guess that
has a horrible theme song. That's the only thing that's working against him.
Well, like
that theme song is horrible.
I mean, I know somebody that can help him with that.
No, listen, when he gets that, listen, when Austin Theory, if Austin Theory is to get a title on him, don't worry, he gets a world title on him, a real world title. That theme song will change, and it'll be like, and then we'll look at him like, oh yeah, he's here, he's around.
That theme song is terrible.
You know what is next?
Only 24 years old. I'm like, thank you for his fucking biography.
You know what his theme song is, right?
Huh?
Mm-hmm. My time is up. The time is now.
I mean,
the time is now.
I don't even want to try to compare Theory story. I get what you're saying.
No, I'm not. I'm just saying that's going to be his theme song.
Like, oh god, no, Jesus. Jesus, no. Oh God.
You think he's the next Cena? Really?
I mean,
no, I'm just
Super
AT,
Theory,
baby.
It'll be super
TCO was on TV.
Yeah, Super Theory.
You know who I think honestly,
Super Theory, for real though.
You know who I think honestly, 5 years from now, like the next guy that comes up or whatever have you. And I think he's going to be in the Rumble match.
Braun
Breaker.
Yeah.
I wanted to
I think he's the next big thing, personally.
I wanted to also say Carmelo Hayes. I wanted to say Carmelo Hayes.
We're going to get some NXT guys in the Rumble.
I mean,
I can see Ciampa, Braun, and Carmelo.
Honestly, Pete Dunne could be up there.
Pete Dunne's another one.
LA
Knight, I think, is a
LA
name.
Knight could show up.
Too. Yeah.
So could Grayson Waller.
Oh,
he can come back.
He might be the reason that AJ gets eliminated.
True.
Who knows?
We could see
there's a lot of things.
Styles at Mania. That's not out of the realm of possibility.
It's not.
You could see NXT
versus honestly, I would like to see the NXT Championship defended at WrestleMania, personally.
Which with Vince's NXT, anything's possible.
True. Striker, who's your pick?
I'm wearing the goddamn shirt. You already know who I'm picking, and I already got storylines, so it don't even matter. Brock keeps the title, Big E can choose Brock. Roman keeps the title, Big E could choose Roman. At this point, anything can happen. Because if either person wins either match, Big E has history, Big E has a story, and anybody can be his opponent.
That's fair.
Now, you may have disagreed earlier on the choice, but look at it this way. You're going to have the first person to win Money in the Bank and the Royal Rumble back to back within the same season. And have them go to WrestleMania. And that I think Biggie is primed to do that. Now, do we finally get the supposed Serious E that everybody wants? We don't know yet. But if you are facing Reigns again, if you're going to face Brock for the first time, and Heyman bigged you up, Brock loves you, you can have by far an amazing Mania match with either one of those men.
True.
So I think Biggie is the perfect pick. I really have nothing much more to say, but that's my pick, Biggie.
I gotta agree. Honestly, pretty much with everything. It's yeah, I think Big E's gonna win it. I think it's pretty much the same thing. It doesn't really matter who's champion. He'll put on a hell of a show with either one. It I personally would like, granted, I think, payback for losing the WWE title,
Right.
but I think him and Reigns is basically fulfilling a prophecy.
Agreed.
I
He'll be
think,
back with his boys.
yeah. Whenever Woods comes back from the injury.
Woods
But
apparently will be there this weekend.
look, listen, let's be honest. He's gonna go, if he was to win the WWE title and go back to SmackDown, the New Day's gonna end up on Raw again. Like that just seems like what's going on. But anyways,
We'll get them for a few months. I can't be mad at that. They're not gonna do a draft directly after WrestleMania, so you're gonna see them. You're gonna see the bloodline in them clash for a good few months, which is perfectly fine.
Well, they can't feud for the titles. The Usos will have to lose the belts,
which they eventually will. The SmackDown tag roster is stacked at the moment. They can't keep those titles long.
But yeah, I think Biggie is definitely a solid pick to win. It sucks that
he's the safest pick.
Like it sucks that he took the L to Seth the other day, but I don't think that's gonna deteriorate his momentum.
Oh, just fuels him more.
Yeah. So, surprise entrance, something I would just wanted to talk about for a very, very, very. When I say small, I mean real small, like maybe a couple seconds each. Moose, yes or no?
I don't think so.
No.
Be interesting to see, but I don't think so.
It would be funny.
Possible.
Funny, but no.
Possible.
Okay.
20% chance.
Ready? How about this one? Oh, you know what? I'm just gonna spit off some names real quick, and we'll just do a rapid fire, and then we'll call it a show.
Sure.
All right, you ready? Okada.
Absolutely not.
No, not yet.
Yeah.
Not yet.
Well, absolutely not.
Yes.
Not yet.
Yes, I'll be the one to go against the grain. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Ain't gonna happen.
We said Moose. Let's go with Britt Baker.
Absolutely not.
In the women's? Oh no.
No.
Adam Cole.
No.
Nah, it's
Nobody from
it'd be nice,
AEW.
but
No
it's just,
contracted AEW
nobody from
wrestler,
AEW.
a talent, whatever have you, will be in the Royal Rumble match.
Nobody from
As
AEW.
much as
Alright.
Cody Rhodes needs the payday, he's not going to be in the match because he's.
I mean, he isn't
I
Right,
mean,
right.
he's not under contract. He doesn't have it. He's just working on a handshake.
That's
True.
That's the
Damn.
big
Wouldn't be
fish
me.
that I think everybody wants to see from AEW.
It
It wouldn't be me,
I
but
want
think
to
that
fucking
is
see
gonna
Cody. Get the fuck go.
we want
Go
to see
away, Cody.
Stardust.
Go
We
with,
want to see Stardust. We don't want to see Cody Rhodes. We want to see Stardust. You gotta get it correct.
Not going to happen.
No, it's not.
let's go with oh my god, Tanahashi.
Has a better chance at being in the Royal Rumble than freaking Cody.
True.
Who?
Tanahashi could be interesting.
Tanahashi would be nice. Tanahashi could work.
With the US belt too?
That'd be crazy.
Not gonna happen.
Von Wagner.
Oh
There you
god,
go.
that's the most likely name that you've said thus far. I don't think it's gonna happen. I hope not, but
With 3 entrants, no.
No.
Even 4 is ill, no.
Mandy Rose.
I can see it.
I can see it happening.
That's a realistic choice. NXT champ, NXT Women's Champion. I can see it.
Yeah.
Io Shirai.
Yeah, have both NXT
Io
champs in there.
Shirai.
Okay. Yeah.
I can see
Yeah.
it.
Asuka and Io Shirai
That's
beating up
gonna be-
people in the
That's
Rumble.
dangerous. That's dangerous.
Dakota Kai.
Dakota Kai, yes.
I can see Dakota Kai. Yeah.
I almost called her by the wrong name. Cora Jade.
No.
I don't know if she's
No.
right.
I think she's too green, personally.
That's why we see Raquel. Her, no.
Let me think. We said champion, the rest of the top guys in NXT for the most part.
Bada bing, Tony D'Angelo.
How about this? Maybe.
Or we might just go.
What
to the
about?
moon.
Okay,
He's another one.
We might just go to the moon.
Gunther is a
He's
very
possible.
heavy
He's a
possibility.
strong possibility.
Not yet.
Gunther being in it would be nice. I think it's a strong
I
possibility.
think next year. This year they threw a lot of entrants in there. I think next year, definitely.
MSK.
Huh. Arcade Bros in it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
As well as the Street Profits, as well as the Mysterios.
Yeah, there's a lot of tag teams.
Yeah.
So are the Raw Tag Team Champions Alpha Academy.
Wow, I didn't know they were in.
Mm-hmm.
I have a wrench in the plan, real quick. Just before.
A fly in the ointment.
So the reason why I asked which championship match we get first, because pending whomever wins or loses, do you think we may see either man in the Rumble? More so the Roman Reigns match.
I don't
If
know.
Seth loses, I can see it.
You don't think if Roman loses, he's not going to?
No.
I think he'll join the Rumble.
Maybe.
You have a king that does not going to go on a tirade after being screwed.
Indeed.
He can screw up the whole Rumble and say, fuck it, I'm going in. I'm beating everybody. I'm throwing everybody out. That's it.
Right.
So I think Roman would be a great choice.
Jeez. All right. I don't know. I'm trying to think of maybe one or two more. Jason David Frank.
Random.
That's very random. Wow.
Yeah, I know.
You couldn't even say Stephen Amell? Like that would have at least sufficed.
I mean,
his boy is running AEW.
All the jackass guys are going to be at the Rumble.
I was thinking about that.
Yeah, because they're going to
do some type of crazy stunt.
And one jackass guy is an Odd Future member. If nobody knew that,
that's very true.
No clue.
Jasper.
All right.
Jasper is one of the Jackass crew now.
They're gonna do some type of crazy spot. I guarantee
they'll probably catch him.
Not sure.
How about this one? How about Naito? I don't think they would be.
I don't
able
think
to
anybody
handle
from
him.
NJ at the moment.
I don't think anybody in
Okada would be the
WWE
best name.
Naito showing up is going to have all the real New Japan fans is going to have them mark out. If Naito
hardcore.
Oh man!
Could you imagine he comes out in the with the ripaway suit? My god!
And he comes out with Daryl. It's over.
No, Daryl. He wouldn't come out.
Yeah, he could still come out with Daryl. Why not?
He wouldn't. Because he abused the last time Daryl was in the picture. He was abusing him.
You're right.
Yo. We're not focusing on the story back in the day.
We're not talking about evil. You're not talking about evil Naito.
Hey, listen, man.
That's very interesting. Okada would be the best choice, but I think because of whom we see in the Rumble right now, I don't think it would give as much impact as it should.
No.
I think if you do it in a year, like if
Roman was in the Rumble, I think
that's what I'm saying.
Was in the Rumble,
that's what I'm saying.
It would be a whole hell of a lot more impactful.
If it was 2019's Rumble,
but you're in the Rumble with the likes of AJ Styles, or you're in the likes of with the likes of Finn Balor, like for a lot of these stars.
Was Finn even confirmed for the Rumble?
He's not confirmed.
No,
well,
I checked the list.
So there we go.
You never know.
I think the Demon pops up, but not in the Rumble. We might just have him eliminate AJ. Austin.
Seeing Okada in the Rumble is just like, bro, you're in the presence of greatness. You are all in the presence.
That would be crazy.
I got a dark horse to win the thing. Bruce, get in here. You know, it would be really good if another McMahon won a Rumble.
Oh, wow. Shane, imagine.
McMahon could possibly be in this. I read
a
rumor.
This McMahon is in this.
Shane?
No, Vince.
The hell with the
Vince says to hell with the fucking brass ring. Let me show you what is how it's done.
Vince comes in at number 31 and eliminates the winner. Then he tears.
Yo, hold on.
Goes on to WrestleMania.
Hey, tears the other one. What Rumble had that 31st entrant?
That was the year one.
Thought they got away. Yeah, and thought they got away with it.
That was the 40-man Rumble, wasn't it? Wait a minute. There was a 31st head. Wait a minute.
Wasn't there one of them where like there was an extra entrant?
Not that I know of. I don't think so.
All right, we're gonna come back.
I gotta look that up.
That's some homework. Maybe I'm bugging. I didn't think I was, but
they had a 50-man Rumble, they had a 40-man Rumble, and I think Del Rio won the 40-man.
Del Rio won the 40-man
Rumble.
Yeah.
We understand.
That was the day that Ricardo Rodriguez went completely crazy on the mic and kept saying his name over and over again.
Yep.
Not one of my favorite Rumble. Not one of my favorite Rumbles. Well, that was like the one that really like kicked off like the surprise returns. Like, Booker T came back, and then Kevin Nash was in the Rumble and stuff. Those are pretty cool moments. Like now everybody's been clamoring for surprise returns. Like, geez, I wonder what surprises is going to be in this Rumble. You know.
Yeah, what if the Rock? What if Reigns? What if this was like a next year? Nah, man. What if the Rock came back this Rumble and won and challenged Reigns at WrestleMania?
He doesn't need to win another one.
Dwayne's too busy. Dwayne's too busy.
Dwayne just has to show up during a championship match, make Reigns lose the match, and that's it right there. Story's done.
That was the case. That's the best kept secret in wrestling.
It is.
Kudos to them for not being nobody spoiling that. We're close to the bell.
But Dwayne's
2 days away from bell time, and they didn't spoil that. The Rock,
right? Yeah,
they deserve all the flowers in the world if they could keep that secret.
Yo, for real, for real.
That's like they really must have went backstage and made like everybody sign like a blood pact. Like,
word, if you say this,
blood. You know. Honestly,
like
I'll throw another surprise entrant though. Sorry. I think we might get one AEW guy.
I know. I doubt it.
Billy Gunn.
I would have said
Jericho.
I would have said Jericho would be okay. No,
Jericho makes the most sense.
Yeah. It would have been funny to say Danhausen, but you know, Danhausen signed.
he's free agent.
No,
he did sign. My bad.
He signed.
He signed. It's official. I completely missed that match. I was so upset. Anyways, this is
miss much, bro.
Yeah, but you know,
I know.
Baby. Excuse me. Plus, I had to drive
reminded me of
super early.
a meme about that. I saw a meme
But
on Twitter about that.
But ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us for another episode. We really appreciate it. So I'm assuming that we might be on live for the Royal Rumble.
Yes, sir.
It
is Striker's birthday weekend.
Yes, it is.
Just show up.
Don't assume,
pal.
My birthday is Monday, ladies and gents. 1/31.
1/31/21.
Oh, I thought he was about to give away his address. Like, bruh, I don't think that would be smart.
If you want to send gifts, send gifts.
Just send gifts to my PO box. Like you sound like that's it.
Just message me on Twitter, and just send me some gifts, man. KOF just got the Omega Edition announced at GameStop. I need that. But yeah,
all right. So as his mic is muted, we can. Sorry, I had to.
So you got anything to say? Click. Fascinating.
And thank you, Striker, for your time, Striker.
That was marvelous.
But yes, this weekend is Royal Rumble. I was trying to get together a bingo card, but I may just hold that off until next year. But maybe we can make a drinking game.
Yeah.
I ain't trying to finish the die in the Rumble.
Right.
I mean, the same way.
Anytime somebody takes a step, like what?
Trying to give us cirrhosis.
Take a shot for every time they say "we the ones."
You know what?
You're gonna be fucked up the first 2 minutes.
Take a shot anytime Michael Cole says "Oh my."
Nah, son. Nah.
Oh my.
It doesn't even feel genuine at this point. Like, no. James said Moose would be interesting, but doubt it.
Yes.
He was like, that was about JDF, only in the Green Ranger outfit.
Imagine.
Without shield, though. He has to take the shield off when he goes in the ring. Tiff was clapping for Striker's birthday, so how about we just do it now? Happy early birthday, brother.
Happy early birthday, brother.
Early birthday, my brother.
Thank you, guys. Love you guys.
Love you, bro.
Buy me drinks.
We're probably wish you another happy birthday.
I would take a shot. I would take a shot for you for this, but this is also.
Go ahead, brother.
I gotta get up early in the morning.
No, you fucking crazy. You fucking crazy. This is the only bottle I got. You like your fucking mind.
and then James just wanted to let y'all know that you must that you gotta always acknowledge our tribal chief.
That was not.
All hail King Wood.
You will see me headbanging. You will see me headbanging to the Visionaries theme in my Bakugo wig on Saturday.
Oh God!
Wow! Wow!
Well, I will not be.
And with that, right?
Okay.
Oh man! All right, guys. Let's say goodnight to the people. Let's do this.
Good night, people.
Short and sweet.
I know.
Just when you're smiling.
Ooh.
Mickey James winning the Rumble.
That would be that. I'm not gonna lie.
Hey,
Charlotte versus Mickey. Ooh.
Now what's going on? Connecting people through wrestling.
It would be such a reach.
I love y'all, man. Y'all need to. We need to connect. Really, we need to connect. I love seeing y'all at every event. It's so dope.
Yes.
It's a good vibes and aloha from Fort Lauderdale. I'll be at the Rumble this Saturday. That's awesome.
Okay.
Let us know how.
I got some close family. Yeah, I got some close family in Fort Lauderdale.
So to answer that question, it would be hilarious if Mickey actually won the Rumble. That would be hilarious.
Mickey versus Charlotte.
Because that means Impact actually is really getting a win. It's
Mickey
just
versus Charlotte.
The one woman we didn't talk about was Lita.
Oh, that's true too.
Lita's having a comeback story.
Lita's got a shot.
Lita's definitely
a comeback story.
I think Lita's definitely gonna eliminate Charlotte.
Got a shot at winning.
I think she's gonna definitely eliminate
So
Charlotte.
you think Charlotte gets another of the
That
Another
timeless
legend.
legends
Legend under her
no,
belt.
Yeah.
under her belt?
if Naomi's not getting her title run this year, I can see them having Lita versus Charlotte at Mania. I can see this happen.
Yeah,
can
for
see
sure.
You see it happen.
I'll up you one. Raquel versus Charlotte, and Raquel takes the belt.
Oh wow!
That's
I don't
that's
know.
wild. I don't know.
That would be interesting, though.
It would be hella interesting, but it's just like, damn.
And
So
believable.
it's the reverse situation. So Charlotte went to NXT and beat Rhea.
Yeah.
Now you have Raquel come up, beat Charlotte,
I mean,
and
that-
then eventually we
look-
get Rhea versus Raquel for the title.
Not saying that if anybody beats her, it's not believable. I am so sorry. Excuse me. I'm sorry. Not saying that it's not believable, but I think Raquel is one of those women that like if she can beat her, I'm blanking out on the word, but like efficiently, like she can like
Methodically,
whoop,
yeah,
like
systematically
whoop her
beat that
ass,
yeah.
right? Like
Okay.
whoop her ass, and people would be like, "Nah, I believe that."
Yeah.
You
It's
know what I
weird.
mean? So
I'm
that's really
telling
not a
you,
bad
I
pick.
do
either.
not
It's
think
not-
Charlotte
and
is
what-
bad in that regard.
It's not a
I think
bad pick.
Charlotte will definitely take the L. No
Yeah,
problem.
I think she would too.
I think when it makes sense, Charlotte definitely will let somebody go over her when it makes sense. And I think
Her.
you're right. For Raquel, that would make sense. That would
Yeah,
make
you
a
gotta
lot
build
of
her as a
sense.
monster.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Gotta build her as a monster.
but
she'd have to just be she would have to stay heel. Raquel would have to stay heel then. If she's being built as a monster, she can't. Raquel is this is the
Could be
thing
a
I always
face
not
monster.
against Charlotte.
Against Charlotte, everybody's a face.
And that's not true. You can be a face and still be a powerhouse.
Yeah, you can.
So
Rhea did it.
You can. It's just not. Well, Rhea did it, but Rhea's over here with Nikki ASH, so it's just like,
Oh god.
yeah, but she still won titles. You can't deny that.
I mean,
So
sure.
obviously something worked.
Eh.
All right.
Like the
Bruce,
promo
get
work,
me the
the promo
butterflies.
work wasn't good enough. The promo work's just not good when they're
Yeah,
monster
well,
faces.
I mean-
It's just not good enough. Unless you're Bray Wyatt, that's not here. Nor there. It's just unless you're Bray Wyatt, that's just all that matters.
I miss Bray, man.
We all do.
But
We all miss him.
all right, let's start it up. Let's get out of here. People gotta sleep.
Right.
You
Age
guys.
kicking in.
I gotta get up early in
Yeah.
the morning, fellas. So, goddamn pal, follow me on Twitter, Jador Stretch. Goddamn pal, follow me on Instagram, Jador Sapio. Win for diversity.
Get him, Bruce.
But yeah, you already know. You guys can follow me on Instagram and on Twitter at Forever Thiefin. As you know, it's Mr. After Hours. I don't know. There probably will be an After Hours show being watched tonight. Who knows? Depending on my mood, depending on if I'm awake. But as always, thank you everybody for following us and watching the content, sticking with us, vibing with us. Thanks as always. It's fun. See what happens.
You gotta slap the browser sign on that. Like
Nah,
that sounded crazy.
Will we get hit with? Are we gonna get hit with like a cease and desist if we was to
No,
let's do it.
Everybody does it.
Oh, so just do it. Like, just
Well, damn. Okay.
like, press.
Someone say cease and desist.
Yeah.
nah, bet.
Okay. I think we only get away with like 3 seconds of that. Okay.
When they go
It's the horn.
like, oh, it's done. Damn.
It's the
So
horn
much
that
fun.
gets me.
And it is me, Striker Dragoon. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Twitch on at Striker Dragoon. And I will be streaming tomorrow. See you guys on Twitch. Thank you very much.
And last but certainly not least, K Marvel. Instagram and Twitter at Mr. Marvel 87. Twitch is at Mr. Marvel _87.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. You can follow the Four Corners of Commentary on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitch at the Council of Commentary. Our TikTok is at Council of Commentary. I still have to change it. Our Twitter is at CO Commentary. And You can find us on all of your streaming platforms: YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, Google Podcasts, Audible, iHeartRadio, and a whole hell of a lot more. Look for the logo with the purple ring and the commentary tables. There's 4 of them with 2 sets of headphones. Like we're putting them on up like all retarded like.
Copy.
Please
like the video. Please follow each of us on follow each of us on social medias. Please follow us on the streaming the podcast listening services, and definitely get us up on those ranks, man.
Like, share,
we
subscribe.
Appreciate it. Like, share, and subscribe, especially the likes on YouTube. The more likes we get on YouTube, the better we are in the algorithm. What?
And leave us those 5 stars on Apple Podcasts. Leave us those 5 stars in comments. We really appreciate y'all for interacting. As always, we are your boys, the 4 Corners of Commentary. And you have a great night. We'll see you Saturday.
K Marvel's favorite wrestler is, in fact, the Mountie. Take it away.
Take it.
It's not. It's not at all.